Hello and welcome. If you're new to the Bible and new to this channel, you might want to watch parts 1 and 2 of the introduction to the Bible. You might also want to watch the videos, Who is Jesus and the Gospel. You can find the link to these videos under this one. In this video, we'll look at two idiomatic expressions. Here's one of them. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Or, alternately, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. This expression is sometimes used to describe communication problems in a group, a company, or an organization. The expression implies or suggests confusion and disorder, possibly even dysfunction. The expression, as it is worded here, is not in the Bible. Actually, this expression is a variation of another saying in the Bible with a different meaning. You'll see what I mean later. This video also features the idiom, blow your own horn or blow your own trumpet. We'll look at the connection between the two expressions and also look briefly at a few other items: the Sermon on the Mount, the Beatitudes, and the Golden Rule. The expressions that are featured in this video originate or come from the Sermon on the Mount, a series of teachings delivered by Jesus to a large crowd gathered on a hillside. The teachings are located in the Gospel of Matthew. A few can also be found in the Gospel of Luke. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you're new to the Bible, you might find it helpful to watch the short video, The Gospel, for a quick overview or introduction to the 4 Gospel accounts of the life of Jesus. Regarding the Sermon on the Mount, a popular Bible handbook says, since it contains the very heart of Jesus' teaching, we may think of the Sermon on the Mount as being to the New Testament what the 10 Commandments are to the Old Testament. If you're not familiar with the 10 Commandments in the Old Testament of the Bible, you can find them in Exodus chapter 20 and Deuteronomy chapter 5. Among other things, the Sermon on the Mount is well known for its teachings on anger, adultery, material possessions, loving one's enemies, giving to the poor, and praying and fasting. The Sermon on the Mount includes the Beatitudes, which is a list of blessings. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn, and so on. You can find the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5 and Luke chapter 6. The sermon also includes the Golden Rule, which you may already know. Just before his teachings about praying and fasting, Jesus told his audience to avoid doing charitable or good deeds for the purpose of being seen and praised by other people. He said, "When you give to needy people, do not announce it by having trumpets blown. Do not be like those who only pretend to be holy. They announce what they do in the synagogues and on the streets. They want to be honored by other people. What I'm about to tell you is true. They have received their complete reward. When you give to needy people, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Then your giving will be done secretly. Your Father will reward you because he sees what you do secretly." In many other versions, the second line in the text here is written, "Do not sound or blow a trumpet before you." When you think about sounding or blowing a trumpet, one or more of the following images might come to mind. You might picture a soldier blowing a trumpet at wartime, or a musician playing a trumpet in a band or an orchestra. You might even think of someone using a megaphone or a bullhorn to make an important announcement. The point, then, is to give discreetly and not for the purpose of impressing others. And this was what Jesus meant as well when he said, "Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." As you can see, the original saying has a very different meaning from the popular variation I presented earlier. Jesus emphasized the same point in his teachings about praying and fasting. So essentially, he said that people who pray, fast, and give to win the admiration of others should not expect to receive any reward from God. His teaching on prayer included the instructions presented here. You might want to pause the video to read them. He also included a model prayer, which many believers in Jesus continue to pray today. In English, it is often called the Lord's Prayer. To listen to this King James version of the prayer put to music, check out the resources listed under this video. Here is the same prayer in simpler English. Although Jesus taught his audience to pray, fast, and give discreetly or secretly, many examples in the New Testament show that there is a time and a place for performing these acts of worship publicly. For example, this verse, among many others, shows that the early believers in Jesus gathered regularly to pray. And this remains true today. If you're interested in learning more about praying, fasting, giving, and other acts of worship, especially as they were practiced by the earliest believers in Jesus, you'll find many examples in the book of Acts. If you're new to the Bible, the book of Acts should also help explain why believers in Jesus are usually so committed to their faith, even when faced with opposition and persecution. And sometimes to the point of death. This brings me to the end of this video. If you'd like to learn more about Jesus and how to start a relationship with God, please check out the resources under this video. I hope you'll enjoy the singing of the Lord's Prayer. Thank you for listening.